Good morning, how are we doing? Happy Monday, hope you're good, fired, up and ready to go for the week. So in today's show, we're going to talk about what would be your 3 life lessons if you had to choose them today. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. If you are coming through, then please do let me know. I would ask a massive favour. Would you mind sharing this video? If you find some benefit from it, share it out. Let's get a positive message. Let's build the community. Before we get into it as well, we're starting the 5-day challenge. So the 5-day challenge is a free 5-day workshop, online workshop for guys trying to improve themselves, get themselves out of that rut, and kind of find the best of themselves again, okay, over 5 days. Real positive environment to be in, lots of training, lots of focus, and you can register on the link somewhere on this post or up on the bio if you're watching on Instagram. So in the comments, I want you to try and get involved with this, and I know there's a tendency to lurk or to hide or not to do this, but I really feel like, listen, what have you got to lose in terms of doing this? In the comments, think about what your 3 life lessons would be if you had to choose them based on your life right now. Short and sharp, keep them in the comments, and I'm sure that yours will have a benefit or will help in terms of inspiring somebody or helping somebody, all right? I'm going to go through mine real quick. So in no particular order, if I had to look at 3 life lessons that I've learned so far on the almost 43 years that I've been on the planet, I guess that these 3, and I was thinking about it over the weekend, would really stand fast for me in terms of giving me some benefit if somebody had told me this 20 years ago. Okay, so the first one is never compare yourself to another human being. Never compare yourself to another human being. I think it's one of the most detrimental things that we can do as a human is to view the way that another human being lives their life, view what they do, view how the decisions that they make or how they portray themselves, whether it's on social media or whether it's on a face-to-face contact. When we compare ourselves to other people, what we tend to do is consume the way that they live their life and almost try to mirror that. And this happens a lot on social media. And when we do that, we take ourselves further and further away from our own identity and character. We take ourselves further and further away from being the best version of ourselves. And when we compare other people, it can sometimes make us feel really bad about ourselves because they may portray this lavish lifestyle or this way of thinking, and actually behind the scenes it might not be that happy, but yet we've based our own happiness on what they're doing, on what they look like, on what they're driving, on what their house is like. And it takes us away, it strips us away of our own identity. The minute you stop comparing yourself to other people is the minute that you start being completely true to yourself. That's number 1. What a start. Number 2, never look at failure as a negative. Never look at failure as a negative. I used to fear failure. I used to think failure was a really bad thing. I used to worry about failing all of the time. And I wish that I had learned in my early years of business and life, relationships, etc., that I learned to fail more. Failing more exposes us more, but gains us more experience and wisdom. And when we have more experience and wisdom, we're able to live the lives that we want to live. We find that we are chipping away at a huge rock, sculpting out our life. Okay, and many people won't do much because they're too afraid of fear. They're too afraid that they're going to fail. My mama always used to say, fail forwards, always failing forwards. You only fail if you allow yourself to think you're a failure. There is no such thing as failure. It's just learning, growing, repeating. Number 3. So number 3 is don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about what other people think. And I think that too many people restrict their movements and their progress because they're too worried about what other people think. Morning. All right? Good. Because they're too worried about what other people think. They consume themselves with thought of, Jesse, I can't do this because somebody might think this, or I can't do that because somebody might judge me. And judgment is huge, right? Worrying about judgment. Jesse, sit here. Judgment is huge. It's nothing like a curveball, right? Judgment is huge, or worrying about being judged, or worrying about what people think. It's why I didn't film for the first year of my business. I was too afraid of what people thought of me. I was too afraid of what people thought of my points of view. And that restricted me massively, hugely. And when we don't worry about what anyone thinks, again, we can be really true to ourselves. We can do the things that we want to do. We can drop that guard. We can drop that armor that we wear that's holding us back from moving forwards. All right. So that would be my 3 life lessons so far. Not comparing yourself, not thinking as failure as a negative, and not worrying about what people think. What would your 3 be? Put them in the comments. If everybody takes part in this, it doesn't have to be like a marathon or a whole storyline. Jesse, here. It just has to be something that allows you to open up your own mind about what would your life lessons be? What have you learned on the time that you've been on the planet? And I think it's really important that we can see each other's, because it'd be really interesting to see. All right, listen, great start to the week. Let's get after it. I'm going to be live tomorrow because we're on a 2-week build up to the 5-day. I want to get you fired up. We'll start improving ourselves. I'm off. See ya.